Today's feature is powerful. Cassie McDuffey joins me for the month I chose me, Healing and Love series. And this conversation is honest, it's freeing and necessary. If you've ever felt like you've walked on eggshells in your spiritual journey, this is for you. It takes bravery to heal. Watch now. When your story sparks change. Welcome to the month I chose me, Healing and Love series. This is a sacred space where we have honest conversations about healing, identity, emotional wellness, and the courage it takes to choose yourself in seasons that require growth. Because, see, choosing yourself is not rejection of others, it is alignment with who God created you to be. Today, I am honored to sit with a woman whose life reflects helping people walk in their healing emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Cassie McDuffey is a licensed clinical social worker, psychotherapist, community leader, and a woman of faith. She is the founder of Be the Difference Mentoring Program, a nonprofit serving disadvantaged teen girls in Jackson, Mississippi, and surrounding areas. She is the founder of Faith Forward Wellness LLC, where she helps individuals navigate depression, anxiety, and stress. Cassie, welcome to the month I chose me, Healing and Love series. I am truly honored to have you here in this sacred space.
Thank you so much. I am grateful for the opportunity, and I'm excited about the conversation on tonight.
Yes, so let's just dive in. Let's start at the beginning. Let's start at the foundation of healing. You know, you work with people in some areas that are most vulnerable, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. From both your professional training and your faith, how do you define healing?
I define healing is allowing God to be God. And when I say
Hmm.
that, because healing, when we think about healing, we think it's something that we can do on our own. And how I explain to people, we all have experienced some type of trial, tribulation. We all have a story. And some of the things that has transpired in our life that has caused us to not be healed was never our fault.
Hmm.
But the healing part is our responsibility. And sometimes that takes work, but you have to have God in the center of that work. And when you put God in the center of that work, it becomes easy to take the
Hmm.
necessary steps to get on your healing journey.
That is so powerful. I love the way that you said it takes God.
It takes God, yes.
Because a lot of people don't understand how healing, faith, and God, and then the work that you do on a professional side, how they go hand in hand with each other. See, nothing that we can do is without God, right? God has to be the center, as you said, the center of what we do. So, in your experience, what are some of the emotional and mental signs that someone may need healing?
I would say one thing that I always pick up on in both my profession and my personal life, even with some of my, similar people, friends,
Mhm.
that they identify boundaries, but it's really avoidance.
Mm.
It's avoidance from accountability. It's avoidance from um things they are running from because they not healed from it. So rejection, just say for rejection. And so I see that a lot. And we say, well, I'm healed, I'm unbothered, but you don't have any peace.
Mm.
And so you're not really healed if you don't have peace, because the
Mhm.
center of healing is peace.
Mhm.
And so if you are claiming to be healed and you don't have that peace, and if you can't share whatever you have been through without um trying to get back at the people who have hurt you, then you may not be healed. Not saying that
Mm.
you're not, but you may not be.
Mhm. You know,
Mhm.
so many people are just surviving. They're not truly
Yeah.
healed, as you stated. Because, see, survival and healing to me, they're two different things to me. See, survival, it teaches, when I teach my clients, survival teaches you how to function,
Mhm.
and healing teaches you how to live.
it's like you said, survival saying like keep going, just don't stop. You're just trying to make it through. But healing to me, it says slow down. You
Yes.
gotta face it. You gotta
Yes.
feel it. You gotta
Yes.
release it in order for you to become free. And see,
Free.
freedom is what you said. It's peace.
It's peace. It
Yes,
is peace.
it's
It is
peace.
peace.
It's
And you
peace.
know,
So,
some of the
uh-huh.
most, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You know, some of the most healed people are the ones that don't have to remind people that they are healed. They just
Yes.
live it.
Yes.
You know them by their fruit. That's the word.
Hmm.
And they just live it.
Yeah.
I'm free. They live it. I'm unbothered. I don't have to tell people that I'm unbothered. My
Hmm.
life reflects that peace. It reflects that healing. It reflects that unbotheredness.
Mm. So do you believe that some people they avoid their healing because they're afraid to face themselves?
That
Are
can
they
be
shame?
that can be one of the reason why they afraid to face it, because it's accountability with yourself first. It's self-reflection and self-awareness. That's the first
Hmm.
step. You have to admit that, hey, I'm not healed. And a lot of people don't want to admit that they're not healed. But
Mm.
you can't get healed from something that you want to admit to what's going on. You have to be
Mm.
honest with yourself, and most important with God.
Mm.
And so if you're not honest and say, "Hey, I'm broken," then it's gonna it's gonna take a lot for you to be healed if you want to even admit the self-reflection or self-awareness.
Mm.
That's
So
the
what
first
would you
thing.
say? So what would you say to the person right now that's watching, that's listening? What would you say to them and they know that they need healing, but they just don't know where to begin?
I would tell them first, as we stated before, God is the center. And sometimes the brokenness comes from other people. It has nothing to do with the individual themselves. Maybe they have been, sexual assaulted, abused, things of that such. And those things take time to heal. But when you have a desire to be healed, that's the first step you have to admit. Then you have to have a desire to want to be healed. And then once you want to be healed, you can go to the healer himself. And you can ask the healer himself, Lord, send me in the right direction. Send me people so that I can start my healing journey. Not saying that it will happen overnight, but the journey has to start somewhere. It
Mm.
has to start somewhere.
Mm. So let's transition into your personal season of choosing yourself. Because you said
Mhm.
something that deeply moved me. You said, in this season, choosing me means walking boldly in who God created me to be. You're
Mhm.
unleashing your authentic self. You're setting boundaries unapologetically. You're refusing to be held back by the expectation of others. That
Yes,
statement carries freedom. So, what did choosing yourself require you to release?
yes. So, just a little background. I come from a very religion background,
Mm-hmm.
where I was forced to walk on eggshells. I
Mm.
couldn't be me. It was like I was checking boxes to make sure everything was correct and trying to dot every I, cross every T, and live up to man expectation, not God.
Mm-hmm.
And that kept me bound. There was no freedom there. There was no happiness there. There was no peace there. And so COVID was my best friend.
Mm. Okay.
I know COVID, it came to do damage, and and I know, it wasn't, some people um had some bad situation during COVID, but COVID for me, it took me out of the box,
Mm-hmm.
because this time, none of us can go to church or anything. So I was able to develop a personal relationship with God that I thought I had for many, many years, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I was doing for expectations. I was doing our obligation, but it was
Mm.
never for God Himself. And so I personally had to go to God, cry out to Him, admit to Him where I was, because I was tired of pretending.
Mm,
I was tired of pretending that I was had joy. I was tired of pretending that I was whole when I was not. And
mm,
that's a lot of weight. Pretending it's a lot of weight to pretend. And I
mhm,
wanted to take the mask off.
mm,
And so during that whole year, it was just me and God. And He
mhm,
began to script me of everything that I knew. Because sometimes growth is not what you know, it's unlearning what you have already learned.
mhm,
So I had to unlearn some things.
mm,
And as I was unlearning some things, I began to see myself grow spiritually, professionally. Doors began to open, opportunities began to happen before me because I was no longer living for man anymore in this box, but
mhm,
I was free. That was liberty. That's
mhm,
liberty and freedom.
mhm,
And so that's what choosing me, when I say choosing me, is choosing who God created me to be,
mm,
my authentic self. I'm not going to do it like everybody else,
mhm,
but that does that make me a sinner because I don't do it like you over here.
mm,
Yeah. So that's
mm,
yes. And I'm happy
mm,
about that journey. I'm happy. Since 2020, I'm happy. It has even improved my marriage. My
mhm.
marriage was affected by my religion background.
Mm, come on,
It
come
has
on,
improved my marriage.
come on. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm, mm. So I love when you said, I'm not going to do it like everybody else.
Yes, no. I'm not.
I love when you said that. So, what did you discover about yourself? Once that mask came off and God was showing you the true Cassie, what
Yes.
what was it? What was it like?
It was like having a birthday party at 5 years old.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
excited and happy
Mm-hmm.
because it's like being in a abusive relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like a religion relationship. And not saying everything that took place was bad, because
Mm-hmm.
God placed me where He wanted me for those seasons so that I can be who I am today. So it's a part of my journey. But He was trying to get me to a place where I only depended on Him and not
Mm-hmm.
so much my belief system. And when I say He wanted me my authentic self, um, sometimes I may not speak professional. I may have a abundance tone because
Mm-hmm.
that's who I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's who I am. That's who He created. The people that I can reach, they
That's
for me,
right.
and your
That's
people
right.
for you and whoever else.
That's right.
So I don't have to try to act like somebody else or be somebody else. I can just be Cassie, and
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy being Cassie.
Amen. I love it.
I
So
love it.
let's transition to faith and mental health, that connection. So
Yes,
you lead Faith Forward Wellness, where you integrate emotional wellness with spiritual truth.
yes.
So why is it important for people to understand that faith and mental health are not separate, but they're connected?
Yes, they coexist.
Mhm,
Faith and mental health coexist. And as I explain it to my clients and other people, what faith gives us, it gives us the principle or the background that the Lord requires of us. And that's just He say, renew your mind. That's a
mhm,
requirement. This is what He commanded us to do. He tell us to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. Sometimes it takes therapy in order to do those things because we have experienced so much in our childhood, our upbringing. And so sometimes it's difficult for us to renew our mind. It's difficult for me to love my neighbor as myself when I don't even love myself.
mm,
How can
mm,
you love help? How can you expect me to love my neighbor as myself when I don't love myself? And
Mhm.
so sometimes it takes therapy or counseling for someone to kind of pull those things that's hindering us, get down to the root of the thing and pull it up by the root in order for me to live out what God has commanded for me to do.
Mhm.
And so, yes, mental health and faith coexist. It coexists. Because again, he's the healer.
Mhm.
He's the healer, but he used individual like me and you know, counselors, therapists, coaches. He used us so that we
Mhm.
can help other people and so that they can serve him whole and be whole.
Mm. So, how does faith strengthen emotional healing?
So faith is a strength for those who believe. And I say
Mhm.
those who believe because you have to believe. So
Mhm.
faith is a strength for those who believe. So if I can just believe that it is possible for me, then I can receive it.
Mm.
Though it may take work because he said faith without works is dead and work without faith is dead. So I have to have the work, and the work may be tracking my triggers, learning coping skills. And so
Mhm.
that's the work of it. But the faith is that I'm going to overcome this. This will
Mm.
no longer have me bound. This will no longer have my back against the wall. I believe that I can be healed. I believe that I can be delivered. Although I'm doing the work, I'm learning my triggers, I'm learning how to cope. But I believe that one day,
Mhm.
all of this that I'm desiring is going to be for me.
Mm. So, faith gives people something to stand on.
Yes.
Mm. Mm. I love that.
Yes.
So, you specialize in helping people navigate life's transition. See,
Mhm.
transition can bring uncertainties, grief,
Yes.
anxiety, your identity shifts. What happens emotionally when people enter into new seasons in their lives?
Yes. So the first thing is to bring on stress. And stress can be good stress. Good stress is like buying a house.
Hmm.
I'm excited about this house, but it takes so much work to buy it. But now I'm stressed about the situation because I want to get it done. I want to get it done quickly, and that causes stress. And we know that stress can kill.
Hmm.
You know, it causes emotional distress. It may be some anxiety there during those life transitionals. And so, therefore, my job as a therapist is to, help you be able to cope through the process. And most
Mm.
of all, important, I consider myself to be a psychotherapist. I'm a talk therapist. And
Hmm.
so sometimes people just want to be able to release themselves because they have nobody else they can trust. They feel like they have nobody else that understands. So when you come into a complete stranger that's open and welcoming, it's kind of help you to be able to release yourself.
Hmm.
And like I explained to my clients, like when we don't release, we just like a balloon. We blow up this air in this balloon. We just blow and blow and blow and blow. If you never release that balloon, you're gonna pop, right? The balloon's gonna
Hmm.
pop. And that's
Hmm.
just how we are as individuals. When we never release those things that we are carrying, whether it's life transition or whatever we may be going through, eventually one day we're gonna pop. And we don't want to pop to the point that we lose our minds.
Hmm.
So I'm glad to be in a space where God has allowed me to have the gift for help, that I'm
Hmm.
able to help other individuals. While also making sure I take care of myself. So I have to have some self care. I go talk to my own therapist. So I have
Hmm.
to release after I have taken on everyone else.
Mm. So, what advice would you give someone who feels overwhelmed in that transition season right now?
Yeah. So I would tell them to prioritize, the main thing to prioritize, because when we overwhelm, we're trying to carry a lot. And some of the things we are trying to carry that God never intended for us to carry. And we just
Hmm.
carry, we got all these things in our book bag and it's weighing us down. So you have to stop, rest, and you have to look in this bag and say, okay, what can come out right now? What can wait? So that this bag not be so heavy on my back. What can wait? And so
Hmm.
as you begin to look at things like, okay, this can wait, it need to be done, but it can be done in 3 months. So let me take this out of my bag. And you look at something else and say, okay, no, it's no rush here, it's not a priority. So let me take this out of my bag. And so once you begin to take all these things out of your bag, it become a little lighter, just a little bit lighter, so you can be able to carry it.
Mhm.
And so, but when you get to that point that even when you begin to take things out, you still finding yourself overwhelmed, then you have to go to God and say, okay, God, I'm just taking all of it off. I'm not going to worry about any of it. I'm going to place everything on your show. You told me to place it on yours. So I'm going to place it on yours. I'm going to release it. And I'm going to trust you to line up everything that need to be lined up and allow you to take care of it.
Mm. Mm. So let's talk about the work that you do with teen girls through Be the Difference mentoring program. You've spent several years mentoring young girls. What are some of the emotional struggles that young girls face today that that people may not fully understand about that?
I would say in my work with teams, girls over the years, it still stands peer pressure. It
Mm.
still stands today. Peer pressure, identity confusion, um, um, trying to fit in. All these
Mhm.
things cause emotional distress for these young girls, and they don't know how to fix it.
Mhm.
Because they look on social media, they looking around them, and they feel like they don't fit in. They feel like nobody understand. I can't talk to mom, I can't talk to dad, and they feel lost.
Mhm.
And so my vision for the program has always been to be a place where they have a safe space where they can be themselves, and they have someone that they can talk to and release, because it all goes back to this balloon. They got to
Mhm.
be able to release in a safe space.
Mhm. So why is mentorship so critical for the emotional and the identity part of the girl's development?
Mm. So they can have, like I stated, a safe space and someone that they that can be viewed as a trustworthy
Mm.
individual. Whether they want to look at them as a big sister, or we know we mentors, but they may look at it as a big sister. But it's important to make sure that the mentors are where they need to be emotionally, spiritually, and mentally, so that they can be able to give these girls the advice, the guidance, the support that they are needing. Because what's going to happen if they not whole, then it's going to damage that young girl.
Mm.
And so I always know, talking to my mentors, to come to me. If you feel like you want to, this is too much for you, come to me, because the last thing you want to do is drop everything and abandon that young girl when she's already going through abandonment issues.
Mm.
And that will set her back.
Mhm.
So mentoring is important because they need safe spaces where they can be able to digress, release, and get good biblical advice, encouragement, motivation, so that they can keep on going and not give up.
And another thing that I love about Be the Difference mentorship, it gives the girls permission to see themselves differently.
Yes.
It gives them a space where they can actually see themselves the way that God created them to be. I love how that mentorship, it pulls certain things out of the girls so that they can see what God is really trying to develop them to
Yes.
be. I love that about Be the Difference mentoring. So
Yes, ma'am.
let's transition to a breaking point, the turning point. So, Cassie, in your own life or your professional journey, was there a moment that confirmed for you that healing truly changes everything?
Yes. And time will not allow me to share my whole story,
Mhm.
my whole story before healing came. But um, it's easy for me to relate to people
Mhm.
that may be going through and may not be on their healing journey, because I have not always been on mine.
Mhm.
I know how it feels to be neglected, abandonment, dealing with rejection. I know how to
Mhm.
feel to want to fit in with the crowd.
Mhm.
I know how to feel when you feel like you're not beautiful. When you
Mhm.
look in the mirror, you don't see that person of worth. I understand because I've been there.
Mhm.
But I give credit to one person, that's God,
Mhm.
for healing me and let me know who I am through him.
Mhm.
And so once I found out who I am through him, who I am and whose I am, that
Mhm.
was the game changer for me.
All right now.
And it wasn't a quick process. It took time because healing is inner work. It takes time,
Mhm.
but you got to want it.
Mhm.
And so I had a hunger and thirst for healing. I want to be better. I was tired of being stagnated. I was tired of being at the bottom. I was tired of masking myself to have joy when I really didn't. And it was affecting my whole family.
Mhm.
It was affecting my children. And so I wanted better, not just for myself, but for my children. I wanted better for them. And they
Mhm.
deserve their mother to be whole. They
Mhm.
deserve that. And
Mhm.
so I thank God, for putting me on the right path. He put good people in my space, to kind of lead and guide me, to give me tools, to give me resources, to kind of motivate me and push me to the next level. And that's where my heart come from, because somebody was there for me.
Mhm.
Somebody finally saw me for me.
Mhm.
And when somebody saw me for me and they began to talk with me instead of at me. Because
Mhm.
growing up, I had a lot of people to talk at me. You know how when people talk at you,
Mhm.
but they don't sit down to talk with you.
Mm.
So to have someone to sit down to talk with me, it just changed everything.
Mm.
And
So
even
that,
go ahead.
go ahead.
And I would just say, even today, I consider myself to be healed, but there's a lot more that God wants to do within me.
Mhm.
And so this is a continuous journey that I'm on, and I get better every day. I make it my business to be better than what I was yesterday, to do something different than I did yesterday, because I want to be whole in every area of my life. I want to be whole, and
Mhm.
God promised that He'll perfect everything that's concerning me,
Mhm.
and He has not failed me yet.
Mm. Mm. I love that. So that takes me into this next part about practical tools. So, what is something, if someone was watching right now who is silently struggling with anxiety, depression, or emotional pain, what's one step that they can take today in this moment to begin their healing journey?
I would say the first thing is to admit. And I
Mhm.
keep going back to admit, because sometimes we don't want to admit that I'm hurt.
Mhm.
We don't want to admit that I'm not whole. I don't want to admit that I'm really not the person that shows up every day with a smile. That's not me. That's a front. And so if you can just admit that I need help, that's how you start your healing journey. Is admitting that I need help. And once you admit that you need help, then you go to God and you tell God exactly what you want from Him to do for you. If it's a broken heart, Lord, I want you to heal my broken heart.
Mhm.
Lord, I want you to clear my mind and give me clarity, give me guidance, give me strength. Whatever you need from Him, go to Him. He's the source. And once you go to the source with a truthful heart, then He gonna begin to line up resources.
Mhm.
And that resources can be a mentor, a coach, a therapist, a counselor. Begin to put you in spaces and rooms that you needed to be in, so that you can start the healing journey. Because you deserve to be healed. You deserve to be whole.
Mhm.
And life is so much better. And I heard you say this early. Some of us are just surviving.
Mhm.
We are existing, but we are not living.
Mhm.
And it's time to live. It's time to live. And one reason why it's time to live, because the Bible said that no man knows the day or the hour. You never know when it's your time.
Mhm.
So why not live today?
Mm.
Why not live today?
Mm. So I want to ask you this question. Who are you becoming in this season of your life?
I am becoming who God intended for me to be.
Mm.
The very person that He called even before I was forming my mama womb. That's who I am becoming on today. Whatever that is,
Mhm.
whatever He wants for Cassie, that's what I'm becoming. And He's showing me every day that there's more. I'm
Mhm.
just getting started.
All right.
I am just getting started. I'm 41 and I'm just getting started. I'm just getting started. So I know how I feel.
Mhm.
I know how to feel to be in the closet hiding. And it's so much better when you just living your life how God wants you to be. I don't worry about the outside noise. I know people talk about me. I know they say negative things. Although I freely give love to everybody, but guess what? If they ain't talking about you, you ain't doing something right.
Right now, come on.
So whether you're right, you're wrong, somebody is not going to agree with you.
Mhm. No, that's
But
the
I
truth.
have gotten to a point where I don't allow outside noise to stop me on my journey.
Mhm.
And there was a point in my life when I used to go through things, I go hide.
Mhm.
But God told me to stop hiding. Stop hiding. He said, I want your light to shine before men that they may see your good works so they can glorify me in heaven. But if you hide, if you got this lampshade, just because you going through something, you still called. Even though you going through something, you still called.
Mhm.
I still anointed you. It's just a part of your journey, a part of your season. And we know that trials and tribulation comes to make us strong. So he's just making you strong.
Mhm.
Go through and live.
Mm.
And so I thank God that's a part of my healing because I have not always been there. I couldn't take the outside noise.
Mhm.
It stopped me in my track. It threw me back. But I'm learning to go deaf ear to the outside noise. And that's
Mm.
part of my healing, being able to do that.
Mm. So please share with the listening and the viewing audience where they can connect with you on your social media platforms and websites.
Yes. So my personal page is Cassie McDuffey, but my business page, Face for Wellness, we are on Facebook as well as Instagram. You can Face for Wellness. Also Be the Difference. That's BEE, like a bumblebee. Be the Difference. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook. We even have a TikTok page. You can follow us there, or you can just reach out to me at Cassie.mcduffy@yahoo.com, and I'll be able to help you with whatever you need help with when it's concerning Be the Difference or Faith for Wellness.
So if the audience would want to support you with Be the Difference, can you talk about that just a little bit, the program?
Yeah. So Be the Difference is a teams girls mentoring program. We serve girls here right in Jackson, Mississippi, and the surrounding areas. We are always looking for individuals or organizations to partner with us, volunteer your time, and always make a donation because we are a free program. We do not charge these young ladies for anything. We provide tutoring support, resources, tools. We do things with them to give them something outside of their norm. So we take them places. So we always looking for donations to help us to continue to do the work that God has called us to do. So again, if you need any additional information, you can reach out to me on any platform, and I'll be happy to assist you in with that support that you're trying to offer.
To everyone watching, healing is not weakness, it is your strength. See, choosing God is choosing yourself. Choosing yourself, it's not selfish, it's God's alignment for your life. Because see, when you choose yourself, you choose freedom. This has been the Month I Chose Me Healing and Love series. I am certified transformation life coach, international speaker, author, and business owner to Kenya K. Johnson. Until our next conversation, I'll see you with Cassie McDuffin. God bless you.
Thank you.